Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Storm Arena Street Fighter Alpha 3 Ken. Now, if you watched my review yesterday of Ryu, then this one's going to be mostly the same. They're mostly the same figure, but there's some different things, some new stuff to talk about, so stick around, watch this one anyway, and if you haven't seen that one, go watch that one. I'll put that link up in the corner up there, or down in the description below, depending on what platform you're using. But you need to see that review for this one, because they are basically the same figure, so I'm not going to waste all of your time on every little nitty-gritty detail on this release. But still, we're going to do the full review. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we get into the review, I do want to show you my package. It is the same package as Ryu's, except it has this guy on it and this name. It's good packaging. Storm's good at packaging. They've done a good job here. I love the back of the package. Do they do the same poses? I don't think they did. Did they? No. Almost. These two are pretty different. Yeah, I guess they're different enough, but similar. I love it. I love the way they've done the packaging here. I think it's super aesthetically pleasing. I don't collect packaging at all. I mean, like, I keep it for imports and things like this, but inbox collectors will be happy. I'm mostly indifferent, but they did a good job. Okay, that's enough of the packaging. Just like Ryu, this guy is up for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. I'll put a link in the description below. If you haven't yet, you guys want to get these. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. This guy stands just about 6 1/4 inches. That's going to make him roughly, and we'll call it 16 centimeters. Here he is up against Darwin, so you can see they are actually 1/12 scale. They are not whatever Storm decided their other scale was, which is, I guess, 7 inches now. But they were saying 1/12 for the longest time. Either way, they finally did 1/12 scale. I am thrilled. If you guys did watch yesterday's review, you're going to hear me say a lot of the same things, just because, well, it's the same figure, and I'm equally happy. I'm equally happy with this one as I was with that one. And just because we're not doing a comparison to Jada in this review, I do want to do a comparison to a few other things, just so that you have the height reference in case you didn't see yesterday's review. Here he is up against a Jada DJ. He is the same height as the Jada Ken, so I didn't think there was any point in bringing that out for this video, but again, there will be a specific video who did it better for Ryu and Ken with Jada. But there you go for height. And then for Marvel Legends, one more for Marvel vs. Capcom purposes. And as much as this Hulk is a big ripoff, he does photo pretty well. He's photogenic is what I'm trying to say. The colors are nice. Okay, so heights are covered. Question of the day, Ryu or Ken? When I asked this for Sub-Zero and Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, I thought everybody was going to say Sub-Zero. Apparently, Scorpion's more popular. Never knew. I always liked Sub-Zero. For me, it's definitely Ryu over Ken, but I'm curious, how many of you have picked Ken over Ryu? Let's do that. And then, if you mix in Akuma, then who do you pick? Because for me, then it's Akuma for sure. Okay, let's get into this. Aesthetically speaking, he's a little bit more fun to look at than Ryu because he's not just solid white. But it's still a pretty darn good figure. Unfortunately, there is a bit of an issue. I have two issues with this guy, actually, that Ryu didn't have. One, they went a little heavy on the shading. It's extra noticeable on the red parts. The skin tone still looks really good. They nailed the skin tone. It is different skin than Ryu, which is nice. I'm glad that they didn't just use the exact same plastic. That makes him look way better on the shelf. So I'm very happy with that. But the shading on the clothing, it's a bit heavy and not as well placed, especially right here. Now maybe that's just mine, but we have the dark line on the high spot rather than the low spot, so that looks weird. But it's also just a lot heavier. If you're not up close, it looks fine, but it is noticeable. This looks a lot more like the kind of shading that Jada does rather than Storm, which is ironic. I'm glad that there's shading in general, but you can see they did get a bit carried away, I think, with this guy. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But the skin tones are great, the shading's nice. Then the other issue I have is the gloves. Not on every hand. Maybe, where was it? One of the hands was really screwed up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Which hand was it? Well, this one has black all over the hand, and then the yellow paint is like coming off, which is really unfortunate. I think that's probably, this one's just a dud, I'm guessing. You guys know I have the worst QC luck ever. but that one's really screwed up. I don't think that's probably going to be a usual thing. Ryu didn't have that, and he was solid white, so not a real big deal. But remember, these are $25 to $30, depending on how it's going these days. $25 to $30 figures. So being covered in paint like this is wonderful. I love it. I would definitely take this over not having it, but this is a review. This isn't to me just saying how great these new figures are, because they are generally great. I still have to point out the bad stuff. But let's talk about some good stuff. I think he looks even better than Ryu, maybe. They did a really, really, really good job with the face sculpt, with the face paint, the hair. It's very, very nicely done. Looks wonderful. I am thrilled with the way these guys turned out. The proportioning is great, the sculpting is great, the painting is great. The knees and elbows don't match perfectly, but they're close enough. It's not a huge deal. It's a really good looking set of figures. So yeah, aesthetically speaking, this guy's gonna get a 9 out of 10. In some ways he's better than Ryu, but that heavy over shading is it's just not well enough done. So he can't get the perfect score, or almost perfect score. Ryu wins. Okay, now as far as accessories go, now this is interesting. Ken does have two heads. We have the neutral head, and then we have the smirking head, no yelling head. I suspect it's going to be similar to Jada's setup, where maybe exclusive colors get different accessories. Maybe at this price point that makes sense for Storm 2, I hope. For hands, we get the two fist hands and the two Hadoken hands, same as Ryu, but then Ken does also get the victory sign and the come here finger thing, whatever hand, so that's nice, an extra set of hands. We do have an effect part, so Ryu had the fireball, he has the fire fist for the Shoryuken. It's nice. I wish it was not so flat. It's a little weird looking that it's flat, but if you get it at the right angle, it still looks good. So that's cool. And we still have the same display stand, except it doesn't come with the upright for the fireball, of course. And it doesn't come with the black wire piece. So I don't know why Ryu has that black wire piece. That's a really weird addition to one of them. I don't get it. And then the display stand is still questionable, but it's there, so I'll take it, and I will go 9 out of 10 for accessories. Pretty darn good. Maybe you could go higher. Well, yeah, for this price point, 9.5 out of 10. The fire could be better, but overall, that's a good spread of accessories. Now, his articulation is gonna be the same as Ryu, and if you want to see his torso without the clothes on, I'll just put a clip in from the other video, because it's the same figure as before. And this is what I was talking about earlier. They did cheat. Like, it's not an ugly torso, but it is very, very skinny right here. And they did that to get extra room for the clothing to fit without looking super bulky. So, like, yeah, can you pose them like this with the shirt off? Sure, but I mean, they don't have nips. They don't have any meat on their sides at all. The abs are way proud. They stick out a lot. So it's kind of a weird look, but it's meant to work with the clothing. But as far as the articulation goes, like I said, this is soft. You don't get a ton of range on it, though. Leaning him back, they only go about that far back. And then as far as going forward, very limited going forward on that top joint as well, which is unfortunate because you don't need to be that limited, but you'll see they make up for it. Leaning side to side, almost nothing. Like, it is very, very limited. So I'm not sure what's going on with this top joint and why it doesn't have better range. It does rotate very nicely, so that's good. Now here's the interesting part. They did this crunch piece, which is, like, on paper, I don't think it's a great idea. It does work though. And here's why I don't think it's a great idea, other than it doesn't look great. We'll lean him back without using the crunch, just to show you what kind of range you can get out of a ball. He's got pretty good range. Pretty good range without using that crunch. And you can do that with balls, so I don't know that the crunch is necessary, but the way they've done it, he can't lean forward very far without the crunch. But with the crunch, he can lean forward very far, and that's not using the hips at all. So they do have very good range in the torso. It's definitely not the best looking situation, but it is functional. And that ball peg that does lean back nicely, it does lean side to side nicely, and it rotates. So without using that crunch, you still get a ton of good range. And I think if they tweaked it a little bit, they could have gotten most of it, if not all of it, without adding this extra cut. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but it is nice that they do have generally decent looking bodies under their clothing. It's a little bit weird, but it is super functional. Now I'll run the articulation here so you guys can see it, but again, you'd need to go see that other one. That was a 20-minute review. This one's gonna be a lot quicker because it's the same figure other than the head. Now the hair is soft, but not as soft as you might like, especially up here in the way it's sculpted. It's gonna get in the way, but because they did the neck the way you're supposed to, you're still gonna get to pose this guy pretty well. He can't look up as much, and he has a lot more limitation than Ryu because of this. I don't think there's that much they can do about that. Unfortunately, long hair Ken has long hair. Now, the rest of the joints work just as well as on Ryu. They're very, very nice joints. I love what Storm did here. The butterfly joint does come forward pretty far, so you can get them in some really nice poses, and you can finagle it, play around with it a little bit. You'll probably be able to get a little bit better out of that. But yeah, the joints do work nicely on these guys. I love what Storm's doing with the plastics, the paints, the sculpts. They're really releasing a premium product at like the cheapest price you can get figures for these days, 25 bucks. I think even McFarlane's up to 25 bucks now. Maybe not, but not for long either way. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how Storm did this. First, it was like, I don't know how Jada did this, other than I've been saying people can do it. They can do a better job than Hasbro has been doing, for instance. And then Jada did it. We're like, yeah, we can do it. Okay, so now Storm went, hold my beer, and let me do it even better. It's just, like, whatever you want to do, these guys can do it, for the most part. And for 25 bucks, it's well within reason. Like, they're a little bit limited in the torso when you are keeping their clothes on, but not really, like, not really at all. That got twisted around in there. Let's do it this way. There you go. It's really something what they've done here with these figures. For this price point, you don't get figures that feel like this. These cost the same. These cost the same. It's nuts. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, back to the articulation. Yep, super functional. Like I said, watch the Ryu review, but Ken works just as well as Ryu at everything, except for the paint on the clothing. It's not quite right, but everything is really, really nicely done. His knees do stand out a little bit more than Ryu's, but still, it's perfectly fine. You're gonna get everything you want out of this figure for 25, even if you're paying 30 bucks. Hell, even if you had to pay 35 for this. Compared to what we're used to getting from like any company other than Jada, this could be a $50 figure. Don't let Storm know I said that. But comparing them, like, you would not think this was half price for the Figure Arts figure when it came out. Like, not at all. This is nuts. This is articulation. Whatever I gave Ryu, 9.9. Like, it's all that you would want. His hair limits him a little bit, of course, but it's exactly what you want in a figure. And now it's time for the final verdict for this guy. If you haven't noticed, I'm thrilled with this line. It is exactly what I was hoping it was going to be, which is everything they could possibly squeeze into the price point to make it a good figure. Clearly, these were made with a little bit of care and attention to detail and some passion and trying to give us a good deal. Now, if these price points hold out, this will be the best action figure line of all time. If these are just entry price points and then they start to bump up, we'll see. Sagat ended up having a really good price point. So if it holds out, this is the line. This is the one for sure. I am going to do a comparison video with the Jada figures in a separate video, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is the Ken and Ryu to get for sure, like without a doubt. The Jada figures are excellent figures for what they are. These are better than those, I think, by a lot. And they are, what, a couple dollars more or the same? I don't know. I have to check. Yeah, easily worth it. I'm going to give this guy an overall rating of 9.8 out of 10. He's a little bit less than Ryu thanks to the shading issues, but still, just what a wonderful release. This is what collecting is about, guys. For those of you who are relatively new to it, this is what it's supposed to be. Good quality products for a good, reasonable price. This is it. This is what you want. So there it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.